All right, we're live. Hello, I am Ty Johnston with the Unnamed Adventurers Guild. I am the Dungeon Master tonight for a 5th edition D&D game with the UAG, and we have 4 players here, and I will allow them to introduce themselves and their characters and say whatever they want, and I will start with Alex.
Dang it. I'm Alex Newton. I'll be playing as Dirk Shadowhunter. He's actually very well kept now that he's spent a few weeks with, nearly a month now since last game, with Aelin at his monastery. He wears a dark green cowl with a face mask and goggles, and magical studded leather armor. He spends most of his time performing botany, but this mission has piqued his interest, deserting that for a little while and traveling to solve this mystery.
Okay. Next up, I will call upon Matt.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Alan the Monk, who is still going out earning money to keep his monastery in the black.
Okay, and next I'll call on Brendan.
Brendan, I'll be playing Throac the Vexatious, the Mountain Dwarf Wizard. He's staying active, still working on his book.
Okay, and last but far from least is Dan.
Hello, my name is Dan. Today I'll be playing the part of female Protector Asimar Celestial Warlock Vexed Agito. She is kind of angelic, kind of new to the Illumina area, new to the guild. After her last adventure, she's not sure if this is a place for her. It seems very kind of scary and dangerous, but she's looking to learn to master motion as her patron would like her to, and maybe she'll give it another shot, see how that works out for
her. Okay, well, to cut to the chase, the guild has been hired by a local jeweler whose name is Telphus, and I wrote his name out in the group chat. Telphus had a 2,000, he's offering a 2,000 gold piece reward for the return of a diamond that was apparently stolen from him. This diamond was brought to Illumina for a specific customer, and Telphus had been busy cutting this diamond into the right shape, but apparently the diamond was stolen from Telphus's establishment. Telphus only works with high-end customers, so you can't just walk in off the street to see his wares. You have to get an appointment made and go through guards and locked doors and gates and magic spells and all kinds of stuff like that, because again, he only deals with really high-end customers. But this diamond was stolen a few days ago, and oddly enough, a note was left behind, basically bragging about, yes, I stole the diamond, and here's where I am, and here's where the diamond is, and you're not man enough to come get it back, and blah, 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 and that sort of thing. And it was signed by one Caitlin the Rogue. Now, for anyone who maybe has the criminal background or is a rogue, you have probably heard, if you have really good, history or some kind of background, you've probably heard of Caitlin. She's been around for about a decade now. She has not been known to operate actually in Illumina, but she's kind of worldwide known on the darker side of society, let me say. She is not known to be vicious or a killer, but she is known to be one of the world's premier excellent thieves. She has been known to break into kings' strongholds and stealing royal jewels and things like that. Or even into certain temples and to steal certain things. She has not been known to leave notes behind, to be a braggart. She has kept under the radar for the most part. People don't really know what she looks like, for the most part, with the exception of a few individuals. Has this note surfaced, but there have been a couple of rumors around that she has been seen in Illumina of late, like in the last month or so. But anytime someone asks, well, what does she look like? No one really knows. They're just like, oh, yeah. It's always, no one ever saw Caitlin. It's always, I know somebody who robbed somebody who saw Caitlin. It's that sort of thing. And basically, Telphus will have delivered to the UAG Guild Hall this letter. Telphus doesn't come out himself. He's too important for that sort of thing, or at least thinks he is. But he will send a servant asking wanting to buy the guild for 2,000 gold, guild services. And he will send along this letter that he got that is supposedly from Caitlin the Rogue. And sure enough, this letter will bluntly towards its end point out a house that's in the northeast corner of Illumina, not far from the zoo. And it pretty much says, I'm here with the diamond. If you're man enough, come and get it. But, and I'll just cut through, you guys know about all this. You've got the letter. You can do what you want now.
Is the task to retrieve the thief or to retrieve the diamond or both?
The diamond. Caitlin is not, you probably will know this or can find out fairly easily. Caitlin is not wanted locally, if she's even here, because she's never known, at least, to have committed any kind of crime or to do any kind of work in Illumina. But if you did capture her, there's probably people somewhere that would pay for her head or for her life, or either one.
So how will we know this diamond is the one that we need as opposed to just a counterfeit?
Well, for one thing, the diamond's really big. It's about the size of a fist. And there's not too many diamonds around like that.
Are there any markings, engravings, a housing, anything set it apart?
One thing that might set it apart is it's not a finished diamond completely. Part of it, Telphus's servant can tell you that the diamond was only about half cut. So about half of it will look like the pristine diamond shape that you're used to, and the other half will look quite rough.
Sorry.
Okay.
No worries. Very astute observations.
And if anybody who has one brings up a map of Illumina, it is a building, 2 buildings to the right of number 207. It's kind of an L-shaped building. If any of you want to bother looking, you don't necessarily have to, but...
Oh,
so
okay,
you can go about your daily tasks, or you can get right into this mission, or you can even refuse a mission and just go get drunk.
Everyone's going to head right to the place.
Gentlemen, before we head right there, I actually have a magic item that may assist us.
That is actually really convenient.
Magic items, how intriguing.
That is exactly what I thought after that the heist came up. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. So in a recent ogre encampment, I found a pick. This pick has the ability to point out the location of fairly valuable gems in a 90-foot region. So we may be able to speed the location along a little.
Well, it'd be a good way to know if there is, in fact, a gem inside the building without actually going inside of it.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't spent a whole lot of time using this item, so I'm not sure if it pulls harder for more expensive gems, but I do know it gives us a general location within 90 feet. Obviously, ignoring barriers.
As a DM, I do have a question. You might or might know, and maybe I can make it up. Is it an area of...
You know exactly about it as I do.
Okay, I didn't know if it did it like an area effect, like you would pick up all gems in that area, or if it was just like a one gem thing, or something like that. But I'm
supposed to pick up
make
all
it up
gems.
as you go along. Let me know.
What was that, Alex?
It's supposed to sense all gems within 90 feet.
Okay.
Its only flaw is that it doesn't tell you if there's any barriers in the way, or if there's any gaps. So you could be digging into like lava or
monsters or traps or things like that. Okay.
Wow, you all seem so much better prepared than the last group I went with. I thought I was going to die every moment last time.
Like I said, it's just fortune that I happened to find this magic item and
yes, some of us are a little more professional than the others.
Yeah. Some of us run off and slaughter and kill innocent people while letting buildings burn with children inside of them.
That didn't happen.
And that was the lawful good paladin.
And that was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Okay. So are you guys going to make a plan? Or I know Elwyn is probably already there waiting for you guys to show up.
I say we use the pick to see if there's any gems actually inside the building first before we make any attempts.
Okay.
I'm sure the law keeps a very good
the prudent course
eye on the place near zoo.
I am going to say about the time the servant got there was late morning, let's say about 10 a.m. So if you guys want to go straight and do this, you can, or you can wait till night or whatever. But,
if we want to have less suspicion, we should do it at night.
Or we can just do it now.
I'm sure nobody will question Aelwyn.
The advantage to doing it now is we don't provide any extra cover if it is Caitlin and she's hiding amongst shadows.
I'm sure everything will be okay. You guys seem to be very experienced.
Well, no reason to stand still here then. Let's move.
Okay, you're all going there. I'm guessing Aelwyn will get there before everyone else. Because he's not only fast, but sometimes impatient.
As fuck.
It is an L-shaped building. The long side faces sort of a alleyway between a couple of buildings to the south. In the northeast corner, there is a tower that is 3 stories tall and has a conical roof on it. The tower looks like a fairly recent addition, like within the last year or so. But the rest of the building looks like it's probably been there for a while. And the rest of the building is 2 stories. So the one tower is a story taller than the rest of the house. And on your way there, it's the middle of the day, so there's people out. The streets are relatively crowded. But when you get to the part of the town where the house is, there's a lot of garden areas around there. And there's actually a guards barrack not too far away. So there's not a lot of traffic in this particular area. There is a zoo not too far away either. So you will see like a few families and things headed that way. And in the distance, you can hear like animals cawing and roaring and stuff like that. But the house itself, the door's shut, the windows are shut. There is a small chimney in the back of the house. There is a little bit of smoke coming from it. so somebody's at least been cooking recently. But there don't appear to be like any guards or anything like that. And the entrance to the house is actually from the north side, on the same side that the tower is. But as you approach, no one really seems to be paying attention to you or anything.
I have a question.
Sure.
The third floor of that thing, that new addition,
Yes.
is that sealed up as well?
There are windows up there. They actually have glass in them, which would be rather expensive, but they're not shuttered. I mean, if you climbed up there, you could look in probably and see something.
How tall is the building?
2 stories with a 3-story tower.
No, I mean like in actual feet.
20 feet, and the tower would be 30 feet.
Okay.
Probably, like to the actual roof of the tower, would probably be a little more, like 35 feet. But you can't easily. Well, Aowen probably could, but generally a person couldn't stand on top of the tower because, like I said, it's a cone-shaped roof up there.
Yeah.
Somebody trained in climbing or whatever who was dexterous could probably walk around up there fairly easy.
Yeah.
But the roof of the actual house appears to be flat.
To begin with, I think we should let me see if there are any gems in this general vicinity.
Yeah, can we walk to the corner of the building and just hold the pick out?
Sure. There's nobody stopping you.
Any gems?
It goes out 90 feet, which will cover a large portion of the house. Throughout the house, you actually pick up a number of probably 20 or so gems, which would be relatively rare. But most noticeably, in the top level of the tower on the 3rd floor on the inside, oh yeah, there's like a huge, however you want to do it, a glow, a thumping sensation, music in your ears. You're like, oh geez, yes, there's something up there for sure.
Excellent. So I'm pretty sure that we do in fact have a large gem here. There are several in this building. Feeling the strongest pull from the top.
Can we see the guards?
Like city
Around?
guards?
Yeah.
You're kind of around the corner from where the guards' barracks are. You're kind of almost in an area off on your own if you're on the north side of the building where the entrance is. There's to the east, there's definitely a garden area with trees and stuff like that. And even slightly to the west, there's sort of a paved or bricked area with a fountain in it and a couple of trees. So this is almost like you're properly on somebody's private property at the moment. So there's not really anybody around but you guys. But you're close enough that you can hear like street traffic and things like that. So it's probably a couple of blocks away.
We're that guy's proxy, and so we're basically invited in. Since he was invited, and we're here on his behalf, so we're basically invited to come here.
Yes, but we should be careful how we conduct ourselves.
I like it.
And Eowyn has become a defense attorney also. I don't mean that as a jibe either. That could be a good thing, actually.
Long time working with the watch.
Yeah. You probably would be in shouting or at least screaming distance from a guard barracks. I mean, I'm not saying they would come immediately, but if they didn't have anything else to do, they were sober and awake, and they heard somebody screaming, they might go check it out.
There's a decent chance.
Yeah.
Speaking of the town, what
So we got.
is this a part of town?
The area you're in is actually a fairly nice part of town. Slightly above mid-level. Wealthy people and people who think they are wealthy would live here. But it's not, you're not seeing though this house is rather large, I mean, you're not seeing estates here. You would probably actually have to go outside of the city to see that. And the house is large and nice, but it's not quite mansion level.
Vex, why don't you come with me behind the house, south side? We'll see what we can find there.
What are we doing behind the house?
We're looking. See what we can see.
Sure, why not?
And I take her around back.
Okay, if you go directly around behind the house, there are a couple of quite a bit smaller houses back there. They do seem to be connected to the larger house by sort of another bricked area. So these could be like servant houses or just guest houses, or they could even be separate domiciles altogether. But they do sort of seem to be a common area, at least that's bricked. There are not plants here.
Are there any servants that we can see?
You don't see any outside walking around. In the other two smaller houses that are connected by the brick walkway, if you look in that direction, you can see through windows. There's movement in there.
So this house is in fact occupied by other people. So it tells us many things.
Well, I just want to make sure the movement you see is in the two smaller houses, not the main house. The windows on the main house, there are ground floor windows, but those are boarded up. No, not boarded up. They're shuttered. There's shutters that have been closed.
I ask her to follow me with just a hand motion, and I go look into the servant window.
Okay.
You see sort of a middle-aged, probably 50-something-year-old couple in there, a man and a woman, and it's about lunchish time, and they look like they're sitting down basically to have their lunch. They're obviously not really wealthy people, but they're not dirt poor either. I mean, they're dressed fairly nice, but not like well off or anything. And they're just sitting down at a small wooden table across from one another, eating their gruel out of a bowl. And it is you will notice it's a very well kept little house. It's clean and everything on the inside and outside.
So is this a building that they would be living in?
It looks like it could be, yes. It'd be a smaller house.
I step away with Vex and I say, let's return to Aelin and see if they figured anything out.
So there's three things. I can go in through the third floor, we can go in through the front door, or we can knock.
How convenient you say that. I actually have the knock spell prepared. Oh, did you mean just knock on the door?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you could always burn the building down too and dig the diamond out of the rubble.
And hope there's a bunch of children
That's
just happen
all
to
we're
be in
really
there.
after.
All right. Bad joke aside. I guess we make our way back.
So I think
Since nobody's really acting on anything. And I say, it seems that there's only two servants here right now. If there's any more inside the building, well, we'll never know unless we go inside. But they're middle-aged.
And if we were
We should
invited,
go in.
then perhaps we can just go in the front door?
Sure. I say we do it.
Okay.
Fortune favors the bold.
I go to the front door and knock.
Okay. It's quiet for maybe 20 seconds, and then you can hear footsteps on the other side. And then there's a clacking sound of a couple of locks being thrown, and the door opens up. And it's a woman. She's probably late 40s, early 50s, though she appears to be in very good shape. And even for her age, is somewhat attractive, and you could probably guess was probably really attractive when she was younger. And she is wearing kind of a soft leather dress that hangs low enough to cover her feet. And she's got a simple top on. She does have a belt with a single dagger sheathed within the belt. And she looks out at you and says, "Yes, may I help you?"
Hi, are you Caitlin?
Can I make a
My
stealth
name-
check to get the fuck out?
you can, sure.
I just
Like
I just
slip around the
leave.
corner of the house or something.
Yeah, I got 9. I'm just walking away from that situation. I'm like,
Yeah,
no.
with a 9, you're not looking where you're going, and you like bump into the tower at the corner of the house. And she's kind of like, "No, I'm Jill. I don't think there's a Caitlin here. You must have a wrong residence." And then she'll lean out the door and point to the left towards the west and say, "There is a guard building around the corner down the road there a couple of blocks. If you go and ask them, they might be able to direct you towards a Caitlin."
Oh, you mean she doesn't live here? Are you like one of her neighbors or something?
I'm afraid I don't know who you're talking about, but I do live here, but I don't know a Caitlin.
Oh,
Have you
I
went-
show her the letter. Oh, Caitlin invited us here to get something back for a friend.
You show her the letter.
Yeah.
She'll bend forward and she spends maybe 30 seconds reading over it. And she's like, "Oh, interesting. Well, I don't know this jeweler and I don't know this Caitlin the Rogue character."
Can I insight that?
Sure.
Just a second. I gotta get some dice out. Why I don't have any out to begin with is a curiosity.
I believe her.
I mean, is this something we can all roll for, or just?
Yeah, if you want to.
Okay, that's actually pretty decent. So my insight's gonna be a 19.
Okay. She seems very sincere, but you can also tell by occasionally her eyes shift a little bit,
She's holding back.
and she's definitely holding back. She might not be outright lying, but she's definitely knows more than she's letting on, you would guess.
Well, it's just that we already know that there's a really expensive gem here.
Are you sure you don't know the jeweler? Maybe he's done some work for you in the past? I mean, I can understand not knowing this Caitlin, but I mean, someone as affluent as you has surely worked with some of the better jewelers here in town.
Well, I only moved here about a month ago, to be honest, so I don't know that many people here. And you know there's a jewel or a gem or something in this house? How would you know that?
Oh, Our magic item told us that there's a really rare gem in the building of the same level that we're looking for.
That's weird.
She kind of lowers her voice a little bit, even though there's no one around, and she's like, "Well, I don't normally mention such things publicly, but I am a collector of rare oddities, so there are some gems and some jewelry
Well,
within
within
the house."
This one's cut in a really specific way. If you show us to us, we don't have to hold on to it. You just have to show it to us, and we will know right away if it's the one we're looking for or not.
Oh no! Maybe if this person stole that gem, maybe they're trying to steal yours too.
She kind of looks all of you up and down, and she's like, "Well,
No,
you don't
I
appear to be."
legitimately leave after the first comment. I leave that conversation.
Okay. She's like, "Well, you don't appear to be local authorities, and you don't appear to have any kind of warrant from local authorities, and I don't know any of you people. So if I do indeed have precious items within this house, I'm not just going to let total strangers into my house to look around."
Oh, well, my name is Vexed. What was your name, Jenny?
Jill.
Jill. Well, it's nice to meet you, Jill.
It's nice to meet you too, Vex, but I still...
Well, I'm sure you've heard of me. I'm Ellen with the Unnamed Adventurers Guild.
Well, as I said, I just moved here about a month ago, so I don't know that many local people.
You're not the one that burned down the orphanage, are you?
That didn't happen.
That was like 2 days ago.
The monastery outside of town.
Well, I don't pay much attention to such things. I'm not a overly religious person.
It's not really a religious thing. It's more of a not religious,
just spiritual.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's nice for you.
Caitlin, I understand your desire to come to Illumia. Maybe you want to start over, start a new life, and someone really doesn't want you to. My personal theory is that someone else stole the gem. They're setting you up for a fall, and they want you to be either killed or at least jailed for the theft. If we get the gem back, then no one continues looking into your whereabouts.
Well,
I'm trying to help out.
Let's put it this way. I'm not Caitlin. I'm Jill. I don't know this Caitlin person, but it sounds to me like this Caitlin person is fairly... can take care of themselves. And if what you're saying is true, I think Caitlin could probably deal with it herself.
My assumption is that she hasn't worked in this area. I'm setting her up. And if I were Caitlin, I would want to get rid of any trouble as soon as possible, going back to my life of relative ease and peace.
Well, I tell you what. To get rid of you people, how about you stay here? Give me about 15 minutes. I will go look where I know all my precious items are in the house. And if I see something unusual, I'll come back and let you know. And if I don't see anything unusual, I'll come back and let you know that.
You're so nice, Jill.
Well, thank you. I try to be. Is that agreeable to you, gentlemen and lady?
Yeah.
How about this? I can tell when these kind of things move around. If you were to go to wherever you're hiding your gems, and that's fine, I have no interest in finding them. If you could pick up those gems, move them left, right, a couple feet, and then hide them again, I could tell you if the item that we're talking about has been hidden here, even beyond your, I'm sure, capable hands.
Okay, well then very well. I'm going to shut and lock my front door, and I will be back to you in 15 minutes. Is that understandable?
How about I knock every time you move something? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very well. And she will shut the front door, and you can hear it being locked. Does anyone do anything?
She's not going to let us back in. You know that, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
One more thing before she leaves.
Okay.
I kind of reach out. I put a hand on her shoulder, and I say, "Caitlin, I believe in you. If there's something going on here, we're gonna figure it out." And I cast Charm Person.
Okay. What's the DC?
14. Wisdom.
Okay. I forget. Do you know if it worked or not? I think you do.
I should know if it worked.
Okay. It did not work. She just kind of nods at you and smiles and says, excuse me. And she will slowly reach up and lift your hand off of her and say, my name is Jill, and I will be back in a moment.
Okay, Jill.
And then she will shut the door, and you can hear it lock.
Yeah. I am going to cast Jump on myself.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a key point to double my jump. That gives me 36 feet of movement.
All right.
Not movement, of 36 feet of high jump. I am going to jump on the roof and look into the window of the third story.
Okay. You do that.
Once I get on the roof, I'm going to stealth.
Okay. Give me a stealth roll.
That is an 8.
Okay. You find the roof has tiles on it, and your foot slips on one, and one of the tiles goes sliding off the edge of the roof, falls 30 feet, and crashes to the ground, making a rather large cracking sound. You feel pretty quiet where you are, but that definitely made a sound on the ground, and your companions would have seen it and heard it for sure. And then I take it you're hanging over the edge to like look inside the window?
Yeah.
Okay. You see a round room. There is a rather large, like king-size bed on the opposite wall next to another window. It's a lumbered wooden floor with couple of nice rugs covering most of the floor. There's a table that's of fine furniture with a couple of chairs, and on it are a few lamps that are not lit, but there's enough light coming through the windows. Next to the bed, you do see what appears to be a chest, rather large, actually. The lid is shut on it. It does have a lock of sorts, whether it's locked or not, but there is one there. And oddly, the thing that's really strange about this room is that every couple of feet, everywhere in this room, there's like a little thin cord hanging from the ceiling. And at the bottom of these cords, at each cord, there's like a little rock, maybe even a cheap gem of some kind that's tied at the end of it. And I mean, this room's filled with them. There must be 100 or 200, maybe even more, because literally like every couple of feet, there's one of these hanging from the ceiling. Now, these were not picked up by the magic items, so they're obviously not, if they are some kind of crystals or whatever, they're not anything that's worth any money, for sure. Or they could just be regular little pieces of granite or something with some crystal in them. But yeah, they're hanging all over, and they're hanging from the ceiling down, almost touching the floor. Again, they're everywhere in the room. You would have, it would be almost. You do detect magic, but actually not within the room. You actually detect magic on the roof where you're at, and you detect magic on the outside of the building, on the tower.
Just on the tower, or
on the outside of the house too.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, the entrance where your companions are or were, you do not detect magic there at the front door. But the rest of the building seems to have some kind of magic all around it. But nothing bad happened to you on the roof or is happening to you now or anything. I will. Okay, I will change one thing. Where you are specifically, that part of the roof and wherever you've been moving around, there is not magic there.
Okay.
And
I just want to take this moment and say that when I left the conversation, I'm heading to the back of the building again.
okay, at the back of the building where you saw the two older people eating, you now see the man coming out, and he is walking towards the back of the main house. He does not seem to have noticed you. And he's not running, but he is definitely walking. He's like a servant being called by a master or something. He's in a hurry, but he's not like flying or anything.
Okay. I just stay where I am. Are those like bushes or rocks nearby where I am?
There's some bushes.
Yeah, I'll just crouch in that and see where he goes.
He goes through a door. He takes out a key and unlocks a door in the back of the house and goes inside.
Is it like a glass door?
No, it's a solid wooden door.
Okay. I go approach the door.
Okay.
Is the old lady looking over?
You do not see her. No, she's not looking out a window or at a door or anything like that.
I just fidget the doorknob to see if it's locked.
It's definitely locked.
Okay, I head back to the bush where I am, and I just kind of keep an eye out in the back area.
Okay. Aylwin, I'm taking it you're still looking through the window.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see if she's going to come upstairs.
Like 5 or 10 minutes have passed, and you can hear it with your passive perception. You can hear her thumping up some steps, or someone thumping up some steps. And then she does come into the room. She kind of puts her hands forward and kind of brushes aside all these little cords that are hanging, and she makes her way into the room. And she stops, and she's looking around. She kind of glances under the bed, then looks around the furniture a little bit. And then she kind of rubs her head, and she looks over at the chest. And she reaches inside her blouse, pulls out a little cord, takes it off her head, and then she kneels down in front of the chest and unlocks it and opens it up. And you can't see from your position what's inside the chest, but you do see her head kind of suddenly jerks up. Then she slams down the lid and locks it, locks the chest again. She stands up, puts the cord back around her neck, and she turns and exits the room. And you can hear her descending the stairs again.
Okay. I am going to drop down to the to the road.
Okay. Dirk, where you are at in the back, you've been back there a few minutes. Suddenly the back door opens again, and the older man comes out. He turns and closes and locks the door behind him. And then he turns and walks away from the house. He does not return to his house or the other small house that's back there. He kind of walks between them. And then he will disappear around a corner of one of the houses. He turned west. He was going south, and then he turns west and disappears around a corner of a house.
I'd like to go shadow him.
Gem's moving around.
Do what?
I want to go shadow him.
Gem moving around.
I hear moving around, but I don't. That's all I'm hearing. What's moving around?
I feel the gems moving around.
I'm still. I hate to do it. All I'm hearing are the words
Sorry.
moving around.
Are the gems moving around?
Oh no, they are not. They have not moved around. Give me a stealth roll, Dirk.
That's a perfect time to get a stealth to get a crit. 22.
He only rolled a 3, so he definitely doesn't detect you. He is heading across a garden area towards what appears to be a rather wide alley between buildings that runs to Twilight Road, which is the main road to the west. And he seems to be in a bit of a hurry. Again, not running, just kind of walking fast like he's a man on a mission.
I continue to keep shadowing him. That's kind of suspicious considering our recent activity.
He comes to the end of the alley, and there is a brick wall there, but there is a wooden door inset into the wall. And it's not locked, but it's got a latch on it. He just unlatches it and goes through the door and closes it behind him. You will know and from what you can see when he opens the door, he's going out on the Twilight Road, which is the main road in this part of town. He will come out he should come out right next to the guard barracks, and he'll be across the street from a bazaar.
Okay.
Are you going to follow him through the door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll keep following him.
Okay. Back at the house real quick. You guys are all around front. The door, suddenly you hear it unlocking, and it swiftly opens. It's not slammed open, but it opens very quickly. And Jill appears there again. She sticks her head out and looks left and right, then looks at you guys and says, "Get in here quick."
Okay.
Sure.
I enter.
And back to Dirk real quick. You go through the door and you see the old guy. He's heading into the city guard barracks.
I'm going to go inside. Well, I'm not going to go inside, but I'm going to get close behind him.
Okay. He goes in the front door and it looks like he's talking to someone who's in charge, probably a sergeant.
Can I hear what they're talking about?
Give me a perception roll. They're not that far away, but they're not talking overly loudly.
That's just 9.
You hear the old man say something about mistress and people pestering her. And the sergeant's just kind of like nodding his head. He's like, "Sure, we'll take care of it."
All right, I'll like stealth 15 feet away from the door, and that's when I start running back.
Okay, you run back. The rest of you at the front of the house. The timing's not exactly right, but just to make things a little easier, I'll say Dirk runs around the side of the house, just as Jill invited all of you in.
So she closes the door behind her, like behind them.
Well, so far, Vexed is the only one who actually went inside the house.
If
I'm
I
sorry,
see
I'll enter also.
Dirk, I'll wait for him to get close enough, and we'll go in together.
Okay, are all of you going in the house? Then?
Yes.
Okay. She will
No.
shut. No?
Yes.
I'm going to Aelin. I say it's not a good idea.
Okay. How about Vex go inside since she's invited us in? So why don't we let the two girls chat and we'll wait outside?
I look at you guys like you're weird and I don't get you, but I've already gone in, so I'm kind of shrug my shoulders.
Jill will even be like,
These
Cool.
Adventurer Guild guys are kind of weird.
Jill will look at Dirk and the Aelwyn and say, I would really prefer to discuss this inside instead of outside on my front stoop.
You can discuss it with her and we'll just wait out here. Keep watch out for if there's rogue types watching your place. We'll be able to spot them.
I look
There's
at
no one
Jill.
watching.
I look at Jill and raise an eyebrow again and say, I don't know what's with these guys.
There's no one watching my place except you people. If there were, I'd know about it.
I'll go in. You two stay out here.
So, who's staying outside? Aelwyn?
Uh,
I could use some tea anyways.
Ellen will stay outside with Throwback. Throwback wants to go in there.
Oh, I was going inside. Absolutely. Let's go inside. Said tea. Somebody said tea.
I'll stay outside and keep watch.
Very well. Everybody else is inside but Aelwyn. She will shut the door, and there are 2 bolts on it that you will see she will hurriedly close. And it's an entrance room. It's fairly nice. Wooden door or floors, wooden walls. Relatively new. There's tapestries in the walls, and it is a little dark in here. There is a window to this entrance room, but it's shuttered. There are a couple of candles burning. There is a small table off to one side, like an entrance room table with a couple of chairs. And she'll say, please follow me. And she'll go through an opening into a larger room. You can see through it. It appears to be a dining room. There's a long table with a dozen chairs around it. And there are some lamps lit in here. And she'll say, please, by all means, have a seat if you wish. Or I'm guessing you're adventurous types. You're probably a little nervous at sitting.
Oh, no, I'll sit, absolutely.
Okay.
I'll step aside Vex.
And she'll say, I heard there was talk of tea, but pardon me, time is of the essence, or it's at least important to me, so I'm not going to call a servant to make us tea. It would take too long. You might guess that I'm Caitlin. I am not Caitlin. I am Jill. I work with Caitlin. However, yes, I have found a disturbance within the house, something that is not supposed to be here, that Caitlin nor myself brought here. I'm not sure how it got here. I can take a guess or two. So this letter, then let me ask, why are you here? Are you here to apprehend Caitlin?
No.
Well, someone told us that we needed to come here to get the thing, so we're here. The letter.
We're simply here to retrieve the item. We have no interest in arresting Wrong and Illumina. So basically, fetch.
I think somebody told me this is called a fetch quest.
So how much are they paying you for this, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm not really. I just kind of look to them since they've done more missions than I have. But then I just turn to her and I say, 2,000 gold.
That's quite the hefty sum. And for the item I discovered, that sounds feasible. Even if it's only worth, well, whatever. Okay. I'm guessing, I do not know this for sure, but until recently, Caitlin had an apprentice working for her, and she let him go because Caitlin is retiring. That is why Caitlin came to Illumina, and that is why she never did any of her work in Illumina. She wanted someplace safe to retire, or relatively safe to retire to.
Is she really old now?
Vex, that's not an appropriate question.
She is older. She's no longer as young as she used to be, but I wouldn't exactly call her old. But this former apprentice of hers did not leave. He did not take it well.
Amicably.
That he was being exactly. It was not an amicable departure. So, from the wording of this letter, which was obviously written by a fool, it would be my guess that this apprentice is trying to set up or bring some kind of harm to Caitlin in one form or another. Unfortunately for this fool, I know where he operates out of. So, I'm willing.
I want to make an insight check.
Okay.
We can do another one. It's a 25.
Okay. For the most part, she seems to be telling the truth. She might be hedging a little bit on one or two things. It's not so much that she's lying as maybe she's not giving all the information. But for the most part, she seems to be telling the truth.
This seems to be a cut and dry situation.
If Elwin's up near the door or putting his ear near the door, he can probably hear some of this going on. Some conversation.
I'm looking out for people watching the house. Like he legitimately is keeping guard.
Oh no, you do not see it. As far as you can tell, there's nobody watching the house. You're not picking up anything.
What's the name of this apprentice?
His name is Soljet, and he's soon to be Soljet the dead, or Soljet the arrested, or Soljet the whatever, something bad happening to him. I'd like to make a deal with you people. Let's see, how many are there? There's 4 of you altogether, counting your suspicious friend outside. On top of the 2,000 gold, you would be paid for the return of the item. How would each of you like to make an extra 200 gold? Each.
Each? That's my favorite.
What's the task?
What's the task that we have to do to earn this 200 gold?
Go take out Soljet. Or if you prefer and don't have the stomach for out-and-out killing, have him arrested.
I want to see if that guard has finally made his way over.
I think other deals, we should get make sure we complete the first task. So, could we have the gem?
Well, I will tell you this. I would prefer not to hand the gem over to you. But if you will return to this jeweler, or I suppose you could follow along with me. I know how adventuring types are. I would personally transport the item to where it needs to go.
I'd personally like to see it first, and then of course we'll escort you to the jeweler.
Well, if I take you to where the item is currently being kept, there would be a certain amount of danger to you there.
Oh, no.
And
I wasn't saying take us to it and then... No, absolutely. Go retrieve it from the tower and then bring it back down to us. I mean, wherever you have it hidden.
Just to be clear, I didn't hide it anywhere, and neither did Caitlin.
No,
Someone else placed it there.
Absolutely. The other person, that's what I intended. I misspeak sometimes.
I understand.
I'm like that.
If you guys could see my face, I'd be frowning right now.
Well, I will call a couple of my servants to come help me. I will contact Caitlin. She is not currently here, and discuss the matter with her. And if you can give us a half hour or so, I'll have a cart out back with some horses, and I and my servants will take the item to this jeweler, and then we can part ways with it there. And if you wish to come along, by all means. Is that suitable?
Sounds fair.
I'm good with going along for the ride.
Okay. She will
Sounds
go
fair
back
to
to
me.
the door. She will go back to the door and unlock it and open it and say, please, if you would wait outside, I'll be with you in 20 minutes to a half an hour. We just need to get the horses and the cart ready.
Ma'am, aren't you
Yes.
concerned that this apprentice might try to sneak his way in while we're just standing around outside?
No. If he did such a thing, first of all, I would be aware of it. And soon afterwards, he would probably depart this world.
I mean, couldn't we just wait here in the lobby?
I would feel much
could.
more comfortable if we could wait inside. That would be preferable for me.
Very well, then. Wait in my lobby. And she will gesture towards the lobby, and then she will leave the room by a different exit. And
I'll go out and tell Aelin what's transpiring.
And probably not 15, 20 seconds after she leaves, you will hear a little, not very loud, but you will hear a bell ringing, like a handbell somewhere in the back of the house. And then from where you're all at, you can hear a door open somewhere from within the house, and you can hear people muttering, talking in the distance, in the background.
Is that for
And then a
Thrak
door.
or Vex?
Yeah, for whomever's inside can hear this.
Okay. I'm telling Aelin what's happening.
And about the time you're out front talking to Aelwyn, you see two city guards walking towards you from the west. They don't seem to be any kind of a big hurry. They're just sort of walking along, taking their time, looking around. They look up at the rooftops, and they see you guys and are headed in your direction.
Yes, these are the guards I was warning you about.
But again, they don't seem in any kind of a hurry. They don't even seem all that real interested in seeing the two of you necessarily. But eventually they'll make their way up to you, and they'll stop about 20 feet away. One of them's chewing on a toothpick or a piece of wood of some kind. He's like, you fellas, you bothering this lady that lives here?
No. We were having a disagreement, but we sorted it out now.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's always good. So since you've settled your disagreement, I guess you can be on your way then?
She asked us to wait for her here.
Yeah.
Ah, wait for you here. Huh.
How's
We can wait for the
Captain Maria
road.
doing?
Captain's doing fine. She's doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Dealing with her promotion well?
Sure. Sure. She's doing fantastic. Lots more money, lots more authority, more headaches. So you fellas won't mind if we hang out here for a few minutes to, see the lady of the house when she comes out. I mean, since you're waiting for her and all.
Yeah. She's someone sneaked in a stolen item there. She's retrieving the stolen item so we can return it.
Oh, somebody stole an item and then put it in her house.
You know how revenge goes.
Never heard of that kind of revenge, but okay, sure.
Trying to set her up so she'd be arrested.
Sure, okay. Well, we're just going to stand over here and wait till, we'll give it 5-10 minutes, see if she comes out. And if she doesn't, then we'll go in and take a look around.
Yeah. From what I told, if you look around absentmindedly, you may get injured a lot, really badly.
Is that some kind of threat?
No, the house is warded up. If you go anywhere where she doesn't want you to go, you'll get blasted by powerful magic. That's why I'm outside, waiting for her to come back.
Okay, very well. Inside, you guys hear some movement. You definitely hear somebody go up some stairs and down, and sounds like there's some things going on in the back of the house. And maybe some movement out behind the back of the house. And maybe 10 minutes or so has passed. And then Jill comes back into the front room. And she says, gentlemen, we have a horse and wagons ready out back with the item to be transported. If you would please get your companions and meet us around back.
Of course, Jill. You've been such a wonderful host.
Thank you. And she will open the front door again.
All right, boys. She's ready for us. Let's go.
And one of the guards looks up and says, ma'am, these folks bothering you? And she's like, no, we've had a discussion and settled any differences we would have had. Things are fine now. The two guards just look at each other and like, oh, okay. They shrug and they turn around and start walking away. Rich people. They're weird.
Agreed. Well,
once everyone is outside, she will actually go outside with you and shut and take out a key and lock the front door, and then she'll go around the side of the house. Please, this way.
Do you mind if we take a look at the gem just to confirm it so we don't have to go all the way there and find out what you put in there wasn't the right thing?
Very well. It's been loaded into a wagon. You can look at it there. You also notice that she has changed clothes. She is now wearing leather armor, and she also has a short sword. She still has her dagger too, but she also has a short sword.
I'd like to feel the pick and see if large gem is in fact in the wagon.
It's towards the back of the house or back behind the house. It's you're no longer picking up that big glow or whatever from the tower.
Okay. Yeah, gentlemen, it is towards the back of the house now.
And you still picked up a bunch of lesser gems throughout the house. And yeah, a few of them have probably been moved. For one thing, some of them are in one of her pockets now.
Oh.
Let's just see if it's in the wagon.
She'll take you around back. She'll take you around back, and there's a wagon. It's a plain wagon, but it's in good shape and not real old. There's a couple of decent draft horses hooked up to it, and sitting on the buckboard up front is the servant, the male servant that Dirk will recognize. He's sitting there And he's got a pitchfork next to him, sort of leaning in the seat, standing up in the seat next to him. And he kind of squints and give you guys an eye like he doesn't really trust you. And in the back of the wagon, which there are sides all the way around, if you want to see into it, you pretty much have to step up to it to look down in it. Jill will reach up into the back of the wagon, and there's like a tarp there, and she pulls it back. And there's like a little wooden box, and sitting inside of it is what appears to be sort of a clear crystal of some kind about the size of a fist. And about half of it's been worked, half of it hasn't been.
Okay. Well,
She's like, will this satisfy you?
yeah. Well, yeah. The apprentice took it while it was halfway being worked, so it's pretty easy to tell that this is it because it's half of it is still rough, hasn't been shaven down yet.
Very well.
Is it the gem that came with the quest?
Not with the letter, but the jeweler's servant basically told you guys, yeah, it was a gem about the size of a fist, and it had only been about half worked. The other half of it was still rough.
Well, it meets the criteria.
Yeah.
And Jill will say,
And then
but
I'll just double check with the pick real quick.
yeah, this seems to be it. And she will cover it back up. And then she will hop in the back of the wagon and literally sit on the gem. And she'll say, but before we go further, gentlemen, I would like a promise from each of you that I and my servant here are not to be arrested or waylaid in any form.
Yeah, of course. As far as I know, you did nothing wrong. You're
As long as you don't do anything, that deserves being arrested from here to there, I see no reason to arrest you.
Well, very well. I suppose you lot can follow along with us. She looks over his shoulder and says, Jim, let's get going. And he starts moving the wagon.
We can't. I board the wagon then.
Can't what?
I board the wagon.
Okay. She doesn't stop you.
Run over.
Ewan has no problem with keeping up with the horse, so he that doesn't really matter to him if he's on the cart or not.
No, they're not going overly fast. I mean, they're pretty much going walking speed.
I would board the wagon also, and then just make some small talk about the gems and the variety that she has, and with that amount of money, Caitlin should be able to live well here.
Jill will say, she's like, well, while we're here, back here, that is fine. But once we get out into the open road, I would personally like not
mention that to anyone. Of course, I wouldn't say that.
I would prefer not to, discuss mine or Caitlin's finances out in the open.
Of course not. The UAG is a very private organization. We really try not to pry into others' business.
Well, that's good, especially considering we're planning on hiring you before the day is out. And the driver will turn the wagon around and go through a garden, and you'll actually go back around the front of the house and head west. And then you go southwest along Twilight Road. And I'm going to say it takes about an hour to get there because they're not going real fast. And there is some foot traffic. And eventually they pull up in a building.
I mentioned to Jill that her wards have a blind spot.
And she's like, no, they don't. They were set off when you people stepped into them. I'll just have to reward them later today or tonight sometime. The particular areas anyway.
Yes, she's been very aware of our activities.
But you get in the central part of town, there's a bunch of buildings that are kind of built together with small alleys running between them. And that's where Jim goes to and pulls up out front. and there's no sign or anything saying that it's a 3-story building, but there's no sign saying this is like Telfus the jeweler's shop or anything like that. But it is obviously that it is kind of a different place because all the windows are not only barred, but there's also closed shutters on the inside. And the one door is a big steel door, which is very rare. And it doesn't appear to have any kind of lock on it. And standing out on the street next to this door are 2 big goon burly looking guys in full plate mail.
I'm
with
gonna
halberds.
go up to one of the guys and say, I'm with the UAG. Is Toughest here? We're here to return his property.
They kind of look at each other. Then one of them reaches back and bangs a knuckle on the door a couple of times. And you couldn't see it from the outside, but suddenly a little slit opens in the door and a pair of eyes are like, yeah, what do you want? And the guard who knuckled the door, he points to the eyes, and then he points to you, Aylwin. And then he points back to the eyes.
Toughest?
No, I'm just the guardsman at the door. What do you guys want? Who are you?
UAG bringing back his unfinished work.
Okay. Give me a second. Click. It closes. About a minute later, a whole bunch of clicking sounds from behind the door, and then it swings open. And just like this guy, he's only like 5.5 feet tall, but he probably weighs 400 pounds. In full plate, that is obviously about 2 sizes too small for him. It looks like it's probably painful to him. He's got a long sword on. He's got a helmet on top of his head that's open and is not quite big enough for his head. So it sits on top of his head more than it actually sits around his head. Let me put it that way. But he comes out and he's like,
Guardsman.
he's like,
Guardsman,
I know a
please.
blacksmith that will let that out for you.
Please, it pains me seeing someone in armor so ill-fitting. Please, come to Chris' shop. I can let that out for you. It'll be... it hurts me seeing that.
I have a question.
sure.
Does the wagon have a cover?
The wagon itself does not have a cover, but there is a cover over the box that the diamond is in. And Caitlin is currently sitting on that box and therefore that cover.
Okay.
I go up to Jill and I say, we need the box now.
She stands up and the big guy sort of rumbles towards the back of the wagon. He's like, is it in here?
Yeah. I go retrieve the box and double check the diamonds there.
It's still in there.
Yeah.
And the heavy guy's eyes get real big when he sees it, and he's like, yeah, that's it. And he'll reach for it.
Yeah. I'd prefer if we take it directly to Toughest because, it's a very valuable gem.
Yeah, Telfus doesn't see people.
Yes, but I think he can make an exception for this, just so...
Is he blind?
No.
I'd feel a lot better if I could give it to him directly.
Good, by the gods. You're making my job difficult here. Something that's supposed to be easy. It's like, all right, I'll be back in a minute. He heads back inside, shuts the door.
I'm going to ask Vex an out of character question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have big breasts?
Not really.
No. I was gonna suggest that I give you one of my daggers to put in there, so if we get weapons removed from us, we'll still have a dagger to take with us.
I think it would have been more fun if you'd asked that in character.
I'm gonna ask if she's comfortable with it. I'm gonna take her like behind the wagon so the guards can't really see what we're doing. I'm gonna ask her if that's something she'd be willing to do.
I kind of give you a weird and somewhat disturbed look, like, really? You would ask me that? I don't even really know you.
It's not like I'm asking to put anything else in there.
Yeah,
It's
Harvey
better than just putting
Weinstein.
it in my pants.
And at that, I kind of shoot you daggers.
And with that, the front door opens and the big guy comes out again. This time he shuts the door behind him and he walks down. He's like, okay, good Lord. One of you yahoos carry the crate or the box over here near the door. We'll lift the little covering off of it. And the boss is going to look out through the little opening in the door so that he can see the gem.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. After you do that, the big guy knocks on the door a couple of times. And then, yeah, the little slit opens up and there's a pair of eyes. And in one of them, there's actually like a little, almost like a jeweler's loop or something. And it looks, it's like, then you hear a little voice say, yeah, that's the diamond. Bring it in.
Yeah.
Then the slit closes again.
Okay.
And the big guy's like, okay, can I have it now?
Mm.
Or do you need some signed papers or, you know?
Just need the payment.
Ah, very well. He stands there for a few seconds like he's thinking or doing nothing. He kind of whistles. He's like, okay. Then he turns around, takes out a key, unlocks the door. And you didn't see a keyhole anywhere. He just like puts the key into a place on the door and the end of the key sort of disappears in the door, but he turns it, opens the door, goes inside, comes out a few seconds later with a big bag, drops it in the ground.
And I say, well, at least we didn't have to go through with that.
He drops the bag on the ground. He's like, there's your money. Now can I have the package?
So that's 2,000.
That's what was agreed upon.
I hand him the box.
He takes the box. You
I try
people
to
are
crimp
really
the-
paranoid.
I bite a gold coin.
Okay, it hurts a little bit.
But can I bend it?
No. You can
This
maybe
thing's fake.
you can maybe nibble around the edges a little bit, but you can't bend it.
You can bend real gold coins.
If it's solid gold,
How thick
There may
is
be-
it?
it looks like any other coin you would get in Illumina. Oh, and at this, the big guy just dumps the box inside the door, slams the door shut, locks it, turns around, dumps the whole bag out right in the middle of the road, and sits there and starts counting out gold coins. Oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
57, 38.
Don't antagonize the guard.
I just
517, 518, 519.
I asked Vesk if she knows that Illumina gold coins are supposed to be made of partial iron.
I don't know. I'm new to Illumina. This is actually still my first week here.
Yeah. Do you travel here from another world too?
I'm not real sure how I got here, to be honest. I just
Yeah,
kind
me
of
either.
poof.
Oh, well, at least you poofed. I got sucked up by a the sand.
Maybe not Illumina specifically, but Dirk would probably know it's not like an unknown thing for coins to have a different type of metal on the inside of them.
They would still, even partial gold coins should bend a little bit.
Well, that's
all
what
I'm
I
checking
said.
for.
Around the edges, yeah, some, but like to try to bite it in the middle, it doesn't bend.
Okay, that's fine then. As long as it's bendable, it has value. 1,998,
1,999, 2,000. Here's your freaking coins.
I'll be honest, I think this is the only person we've done this to.
Is there anyone else here that I can help?
Yeah.
Do you need me to make
No.
breakfast for you
Yeah.
or tuck you in at night?
Yeah.
I say, no, you can go back to... I'll take it from here. I divide
No.
it into 4 piles.
No, wait, you can help me.
What do you want?
I want to give you a tip because you did a really fine job, sir.
Make it quick.
All right, I give him 10 gold.
He looks down at it. He's like, oh, by the heavens, I will add this to my pension fund.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Then he will turn and unlock the door, go back inside, slam it shut. Slam it shut. You hear a bunch of locking from the inside. And the other 2 guards in the plate mail with the halberds that have been standing there outside just quietly, they kind of look at each other and start snickering.
I was just going to offer to armor for you. Boy, you know, some people in the city are kind of touchy.
One of the other guards that's still there will say, he's had his armor let out like 3 times in the last year. He keeps gaining more weight.
Maybe if you put something in there that he can roll around in, maybe like a water wheel.
And Jill will step forward and say, okay, gentlemen, at this point, are we done with this particular business?
Yeah. And about this time, I should have it divided into 4 piles and give it to everyone.
Oh, and meanwhile, since you're on a main street, oh, yeah, people's eyes are popping out of their heads as they're like walking by while you guys are counting out all this money, like right out in the open. There's even a small crowd of onlookers here and there. Not real close. They're not stupid, but away.
I load mine up into my bag.
Have you ever
Considering
carried this much gold in one
public has
place?
probably heard about the elven monk that Roundhouse kicked a peasant for stealing a couple gold.
Yeah, there's probably some people here who know who Aowen is. Like I said, there's nobody getting too close. They're just kind of gawking from a distance. Yeah, sure. There's probably a few people trying to figure out a way they can get their hands on that money, but they know this isn't the time or the place. And Jill will be like, very well then, can we retire either back to Maya and Caitlin's abode or...
Yeah, everyone's got their money and we're going to... We're leaving.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Caitlin's place is a good... We should start there.
Well, I did want to offer you, each of you, 200 gold apiece to take out Souljet.
Yeah. Oh, we need a little bit more information, and I'm sure you want to discuss that privately.
Very well. Back to mine and Caitlin's place then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll give the orders to the driver, and they start making their way back. An hour later, they'll get there. And he goes off to deal with the horses in the wagon, and she'll let you all in the front door.
All right. When we get inside, I'm just going to stand off to the side, and I'm going to start putting the gold coins into separate purses and going purses inside my jacket. So it just kind of looks like it's a bulky jacket, but not like a huge gold.
She will say at this point, earlier I did not see the need because you were just coming in the front 2 rooms, but I will warn you for your own safety not to leave either of these 2 front rooms, especially on your own, because there are potentially dangers in this house to you.
Very well.
And you will find in the dining room, there has been tea set out now. No sign of a servant, but there is tea set out, and it's warm. And Jill will be like, please, have a seat.
I will.
Oh, thank the gods, tea.
And it's actually some of the best tea you've ever had for anybody who's having tea.
This is exquisite tea.
Well, yes.
I really like that tea set.
I don't have any tea because tea is not my cup of tea.
I can get you something else if you prefer it. The tea set. Would you like to buy it?
How much?
I'll let it go cheap for 5 gold. And it is a very nice tea set. It's probably worth like 4 times that. It's like some kind of porcelain with gold inlays on it. From a far, far away land. With little elvish runes carved into it.
Oh, you had me at elvish runes. Oh, I've got to have it now. Absolutely. 5 gold. Gosh, this is nice. Is there any way? But I'll give you 10 gold if you can have it packaged and just sent to the year. His life, I'm quite likely to be harassed, or it would break, and it would just break my heart. I'll give you 10 gold if you can just have it.
Very well, that's fine. Well, I'll even have my maidservant to make sure to wash it beforehand.
That would be it.
And she's like, for that matter, if there's anything else in the house you see you'd like to purchase, you're more than welcome to, because after this little debacle, Caitlin will more than likely want to move on. So it seems we will be leaving Illumina.
That's so sad, and we just met.
That's true, but Caitlin wants to retire in peace and not have to deal with this nonsense. So if we can put this mess and Soljet behind her, then she will be glad to find someplace else to retire to.
When the debacle ends with Soljet, are you worried about us too?
Let's just say it doesn't help. She would prefer to be someplace where her name is not known around.
Fair enough. I'm well aware of that lifestyle.
And if not for Soljet, more than likely her name would not be known around.
It's hard to find good apprentices.
Well, he was a decent enough apprentice before he had to be let go. And he was paid rather handsomely, but apparently that was not good enough. Anyway.
Sounds like we should get to finding him.
On the northwest side of Illumina, down near the shore, there is a small warehouse. And that is where we know Soljet at least was operating of. I don't know if he is as of this minute, but he was as of until a week ago that I know of for sure. And it's not impossible he has gathered around himself some underlings. And our preference would be just to kill him. What you do with his underlings, I don't care so much about. But again, if you have some kind of moral problem with that, take him in, have him arrested.
I look to Vex to say, is killing them acceptable in your eyes?
I don't like killing people.
Jill will say, I don't like killing people either, but occasionally it is necessary.
Is that I don't like killing people, or I find killing people morally repugnant, but I still do it?
I don't like violence whatsoever.
And honestly, Caitlin or myself would take care of this, or the both of us. But we're probably going to be leaving town fairly soon.
Doing is only if they cannot physically be arrested.
I would agree with that. We should try to arrest him if we can.
Well, very well. How soon do you think you can do this?
Before the day's out?
It's this afternoon. We should be able to take care of it by this evening, I would hope.
Yeah, we've cleared our evening plans.
Ah, well, very well then. I'll make this easy for you. The warehouse is on the northwest side of Illumina. In fact, it's about as far northwest as you can go and still be on land. It's not overly large. There are no docks next to it. For those of you who have a map, it's the little square just north of number 27 and 26. Or just north of 27, northwest of 26 a little bit. And once you take care of this, you can find me at the docks to the west of there. These docks are just north of the broken bridge. And I will be there on a small boat. And once you've dealt with this and bring me evidence of it, then you can come there for your payment of 200 gold apiece. And at that point, we will part ways, and I will go off on my boat. Probably to never return to Illumina.
A shame.
Jill, I'm sorry to hear that. It's a shame. It's just a shame that you're being run away from your home. You've been a pleasant person to work with. You really have.
It's not the first time we've had to move.
I know. It's just a shame that honest now people can get run away just on these little misunderstandings.
Yes, honest is the word I would use.
Well, trouble does tend to follow one.
Now?
Well,
so
much longer.
I will be at the dock on the boat after dark. The house will be locked up and closed by that time. And we will soon depart thereafter. So I hope to see you tonight sometime. Oh, and yes, I will have the tea set packaged up and sent to you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And she will stand and show you all to the front door.
All right. Before we leave, I say, Vex, are you really going to carry all that gold out like that?
Why? What's wrong with that?
You didn't notice how people were looking at us?
No, not really.
I can get away with
Put it in
that
your
because they know if they try and rob me, unless they're professional thieves, it will not go well for them.
So we should stop by the guild hall real quick.
No, just put it in your backpack. So if they try to steal from you, they have to basically fall in.
Yeah, that's where I put it.
Oh, I thought you would be like carrying it like a coin purse.
No. Nope.
Actually, is a good point. I have a but you see me stuff the gold into inside of my armor.
That's going to be uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable, but safe.
That's all I wanted to say.
Unless the bag gets pierced by a weapon.
I think you would notice. But that's all I was concerned about.
So where are you guys heading to?
Heading to the place he described so we can check it out.
Okay.
To the warehouse.
It's afternoon now. Not early, not late. It's probably 3-ish, 4-ish o'clock, something like that. So there's still traffic and people on the road. You end up going down Water Rat Road. It'll take you a good while by foot to walk there, except for Aylwin, of course. You go up a couple of side roads, and to the north, yeah, there's the warehouse. Not a real big one. It looks like it's old and been here for a while. There's not too many people right now, at least in this part of town. And not far beyond this warehouse in the back of it, not even 50 feet away, is the river. But there's sort of a road, or really a wide alley between other buildings that leads up to this warehouse.
Are there see-through windows, or is it covered?
There's no windows. There's just a wide open, or not open, but there's a wide double door that is currently closed.
Well, I'm going to go open it.
Okay, it opens up. You can tell right away that it is dark inside, but it's more like dim light. This building is old enough that there are cracks in the wood here and there, so there's a fair amount of light coming in that way. So you can see, but like I said, it is dim light. And it's a warehouse that currently appears to be empty, but in the middle of it, it has a dirt floor. In the middle of it is a spool table, basically a giant spool that's been turned on its side. And around it are a couple of old beat up folding chairs. And on top of this table is a lamp that's currently not burning. And there's a few little like foodstuffs, really just like crumbs, like somebody's been eating at some point, but obviously not too long ago because the rats would have gotten those crumbs.
Someone's been here recently.
So we came in through the alley, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way to, like, the riverside?
There does not appear to be a back exit to the riverside, but once you're inside, you can see to the right there is a door. It's like a regular sized door, and it appears like it goes into another building altogether. Like a larger building, like a larger warehouse that's connected to this one by the wall.
I go open that. I don't open it fully, but I just want to peek through that door if it's possible.
You do find it locked.
Is it a wooden door?
Yes. And are all of you going inside?
Is this? Okay.
I'll follow the leader.
Yeah, I
I'm
think so.
going inside.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going in.
Is this door well kept or like the rest of the warehouse?
It's definitely old, but it's not in as bad a shape as the rest of the warehouse.
Can I take my short sword and kind of just maybe just the door?
What are you trying to do to it?
Like try to pry the mechanism open through the wood? on the hinge?
Okay, I will let you do this one of two ways. You can either do like an athletics roll, like you're trying to break it, or if you're trying to kind of be finesse about it, you can do it as a lock-picking roll, sort of a dexterity roll, but with disadvantage.
Yeah, I didn't buy thieves' tools, so this is my main alternative. I didn't roll very good. I only got 8.
No. Or you're going the finesse route, I take it? Yeah, you're not going to be... You would need thieves' tools, you're pretty sure, to pick it.
Is that an internal door or an external door he's trying to open?
Internal.
Okay. I'm just going to
It
go...
goes to another warehouse.
I am going to go up to the door, not immediate to the door, and you can see the thorny vine bracelet that he's wearing kind of starts moving, and a vine pops out, and I'm going to wrap it around the door handle and pull.
Okay.
I'm using grasping vine.
Okay. I guess give me an athletics roll. And I'll let you have advantage on it.
That was a 9.
It budges just barely a little bit. And Aelwyn, with your passive perception, you suddenly realize someone has walked up to the outside door that you guys came through a minute or so ago. And is standing there.
I turn around.
It looks like a street tough. It's a guy in like old padded leather armor. He's carrying, well, he's not carrying, but in his belt is an old rusty short sword. And he's like, "Who are you guys? What are you doing here? This is our place. Find your own place."
Do you work for Souljet?
Maybe. Hey, I know you from somewhere.
I've punched a lot of people, so.
Well, you didn't punch me, because if you did, you'd be dead. So what are you guys doing here? Get out. This is our place.
We're looking to see if we
I'd like
can
to
work
cast
for Souljet.
suggestion.
God damn it!
And that's
What do you
exactly
say?
where I was going. I'm going to cast suggestion.
Okay. What's the DC?
And I'm going. DC is 15. 1
Oh
5.
yeah, he did not make it.
Excellent. And I'm going to tell him we want to work for Souljet, and you really want to help us out.
Oh, okay. You guys want to go to work for Souljet, huh? Well, he's not going to be here for a while. Probably not till dark. He's out. He's out seeing the ladies right now. If you know what I mean. After last night's score.
Yeah, old Souljet.
Yeah.
Which score was that again? I can't remember. Which score was that?
They hit up they knocked over some guy down on Beggar's Row last night. I wasn't part of it, but apparently they got like a whole 7 or 8 gold out of it. So,
Wow.
Souljet's spending it big time today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You team up with us, we might get like 10 gold a night or something.
Boy, that's ambitious. That's what I like about Souljet and his whole crew. You guys are so ambitious. You're on the upcoming.
No kidding. We'll be owning these streets before the month's out. Yeah,
You know it.
Those fairy purse guys and those dust shroud, we're going to run them out of town.
Wait, who are those other ones?
It's not
the fairy.
important.
There's some local groups we've heard about.
Oh, I'm just trying to learn about town. I'm new in town.
There's some street gangs. We'll take care of them. Especially now we got 4 more members. Mr. Punchy Punch over here.
Hey, why don't we head inside and wait for Souljet?
Okay, whatever. He wanders over to the spool table, plops down in a chair, breaks out a wineskin, starts drinking. Any of you guys got a deck of cards or some dice, maybe?
Dice.
Dice, yeah. All right. Let's dice. I'm a big spender, and he props down like 5 copper pieces.
Whew. I've got a few copper. I'm supposed to be saving it for dinner, but you know how I'm a sucker for dice.
Can I slip him some copper so he has something to bet at his
I
level?
actually have.
Oh,
I
you
have
actually
a pouch of 100 copper pieces on the outside, just in case someone tries to pick my pocket. They take us.
Okay.
Okay. This guy's like, all right, set him up. We'll roll him.
All right, here we go.
All right.
I guess I'll join.
Okay. Anybody who has proficiency with dice can add it. Otherwise, I guess roll dex. Ooh. The bet is 5 copper pieces.
I got 11.
Anybody else rolling?
No.
I've got 13 plus 2, 15.
You are the winner.
See, working with you, I'm lucky already.
Yeah, you already got 5 of my copper. He's like, damn, now I'm broke. I can't play anymore.
Just to keep that guy happy, I'm going to give him 10 copper.
Oh, man. You sure you can afford that?
Well, if we're working with Soldier, I will be making money.
Oh, that's true. We'll all be rolling around in silvers before the night's out, probably. And not too long later, you guys are shooting the breeze, rolling some dice. You'll hear a commotion outside. I shouldn't even call it a commotion. You hear some people approaching from outside. Coming up the alleyway.
Okay, I just keep playing. Act as inconspicuous as I can.
Okay, and the guy you're playing with, he's like, the guy you're playing with, that's probably Souljet right there. And eventually they come through the front door. It's 6 guys all together, and they're all look pretty rough.
An hour have passed?
It can, yeah.
Okay.
Suggestion lasts for 8 hours.
Oh, no, I restore key points after a short rest, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
sorry.
just been standing or sitting around. You would have had a short rest. But this guy still seems pretty friendly even after an hour. Let's do one more dice roll. Just sort of an overall thing to see how well anybody does. Ooh, he did not do well.
How much copper? Another 5?
14.
Yeah.
It was in the... Okay, I got 20.
Or 10 altogether. Oh, yeah. I was going to say 10 copper altogether. The 20 wins it. Dirk definitely wins. This guy did awful. He rolled like a 1 and a 2.
Oh.
He's like, man, you guys are good at this. We should maybe get into gambling.
Oh, that's a good
Start
idea.
breaking up some. Yeah. But yeah, 6 more guys come through the front door, and then they all stop. And they're all wearing like leather armor and got the usual short swords and daggers. One of them's got a short bow. And one of them says, what we got here? What's going on here?
We were looking for some work.
This warehouse is currently occupied. There's no work here. Sorry. You have to go someplace else.
I kind of nudge our new buddy.
Yeah. Name's Turk, by the way.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice
Turk,
meeting
man. Kind of help us out, man.
He's like, oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. He'll kind of stand up and like brush like some grime off the front of his leather shirt, and he's like, yeah, Soljet. These guys said they wanted to join up with your gang. I think they'd come in pretty handy. Soljet will just kind of grimace and's like, I don't think we need anybody else. We got enough right now.
How far is Soljak away from me?
Probably 30 feet.
Yeah.
He's over near the entrance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at Eowyn like, yeah. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. With my 50 feet of movement, I'm going to come up behind him and try and grapple him.
You can do that. However, he does have his 5 other buddies sort of standing around behind him. So they may get attacks of opportunity on you.
I'll risk it.
Okay, what's your armor class then?
20.
All right. When they see you run up behind their buddy, yeah, they take out short swords and start swinging. And okay, 2 of them will actually hit.
I barely even know this guy.
For a total of, wow. Actually, for a total of 14 points of damage.
I see Eowyn move in, I want to move in as well with my short sword.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say Eowyn's is kind of a surprise action, sort of.
Okay.
And then everybody roll initiative, but Eowyn can go ahead and act first.
Since surprise, do I get an advantage on that athletics?
Sure.
Oh, I definitely needed that. 19.
Okay. Come on. Let's see. Who am I forgetting here? Okay. I see. Elwyn, you get to go first.
What?
No?
Vex got 17.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong. Oh, I was looking up at his perception thing. That's right. Okay, then Vex gets to go first.
All right, I see that we're just jumping these guys kind of out of the blue, and actually I'm going to say that Vext is herself kind of surprised at this, and so I'm actually going to sit out of the first round of combat as I'm just kind of shocked by the fact that we're just going right into it. So I'm kind of just aghast and startled and not ready to do anything just yet.
Okay. Throwback, it's your turn then.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cast Sleep just on the whole great big group of them.
Okay.
Total of 23 HP.
The Turk falls asleep on his ass right next to you. He's standing there. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" He just falls over in the ground and he's out.
Whoops, that's the one guy I didn't want to get.
Well, at least he's one guy you don't have to fight or whatever. Maybe he had too much wine. Any more bonus actions or anything?
No, that's it.
Okay, now it's Elwyn's turn. You
Did
got
I
Soljat
grapple?
from behind.
Okay.
What was your roll again?
19.
You've got him, but just barely. He's stronger than he looks, but you do have him.
Can I knock him to the ground?
Sure. Roll a hit or whatever.
17.
That'll hit.
Okay. So I knock him to the ground and I say,
Did you do damage also? Or were you just shoving him down?
I was just shoving him. I was holding him in a grapple and putting him on the ground.
Okay.
To make him restricted.
Okay.
Yeah, I got his hands. I got my knee in his back, and I say to his crew, "Stand down."
Well, let's see here. Okay. It's not their turn yet. It would now be Dirk's turn.
I'm going to pull the short bow off my back. Well, we're already 30 feet away, and Turk's asleep, so I'm just going to pull my bow. Pull it strong, nice and tight with an arrow, but I'm not going to shoot at any of them until they pull out their weapons.
Oh, they've already got short swords out, every one of them.
So I'll hold off until any of them attacks.
Okay. It is now their turn as a group. And Soljat yells out, "Somebody kill these fools!" And he's tied up and can't get away, but his other 5 buddies are raising short swords to, looks like, stab at Elwyn. So Dirk can get a shot off.
Okay. I'm going to aim for the closest person to me, and
that'll be target number 1.
I'm going to miss for a 9.
That will miss. Your arrow goes sailing out the door over his head. And it will now be their turn, and they're going to try to wail on Aelwyn again. If they roll really badly, they might hit their boss. Ooh. Okay. One of them does roll badly and hits his boss. Good Lord, for 11 points of damage.
Damn.
Another one, however, does hit Aelwyn for 9 points of damage. And now it would be the top of a round again. So it's back to Vexed.
All right, kind of seeing what's going on. I realize that combat is pretty much unavoidable. And I'm like, guys, we don't have to do this. We just need to bring him in. And I'll cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay.
And I'll kind of hold up my hands and start walking towards the other guys, trying to just calm them down a little bit.
Okay.
Vex, what are you doing?
It's something crazy. It's now Throwback's turn again.
All right, Aelwyn, I like your style, and I'm really sorry for this. And I'll cast Ice Knife. Not intending to hit him, but I've got a roll to hit him anyway.
Okay.
Because all the thugs are surrounding him, right?
They're all one big happy group.
Good deal.
They're about to become.
Aelwyn, I'm really sorry. 19 plus 7's a 26.
Jesus.
What's your DC?
Pretty sure that's a hit. 15.
Oh, yeah. I take half damage. I rolled a 14.
Oh, thank God. And that so it's a D10.
Yeah,
so
none of them.
7 damage to you for that, and then a DC 15 for the 2d6 extra that everybody takes.
None of them made it.
And since I got the
so
guy,
each of them take 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
So
D6s.
The restrained guy automatically fails his dex.
Yeah, and he took damage too. Let's see. Okay, now it's Elwyn's turn.
So I'm just going to try and knock Souljack out.
Okay. Roll to hit. Should be easy to do.
Yeah. Well, 219. So, 26 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Is he officially restrained or just prone?
He's actually restrained at this moment.
Okay.
Well, he can try to break free from you still, but
Yeah.
you pretty much got him tied up.
Yeah. So, first one was 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Another 26 for 4 points of damage.
Okay.
Doing a flurry. For 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Christ.
Takes 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And he can't take reactions. Can't do
Okay.
reactions.
He's still awake, but he looks in very bad shape.
Yeah. I rolled a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
For a 6 to hit. For 6 damage.
Okay. He appears to be unconscious. I take it you weren't trying to kill him.
No, I was just trying to knock him unconscious.
Dirk, it's now your turn.
I was just holding him down. I'm holding both of his hands with one hand and just knocking him on the back of the head. Just, why won't you go down?
He finally did.
Seeing that the guy's unconscious, I'm just gonna hold my shot again.
Watching to see what they do. Okay.
Yeah.
No. It is their turn, and they do not. They're lifting their short swords again, so you can get a shot off at one of them.
14 to the one closest to Vex.
That will hit.
Do I get sneak attack from being within 30 feet and then being adjacent to Aelin?
Yeah, you can.
D6, D6. 8. I think I have a +1 short bow. Yeah. So 9 piercing damage and 3 extra piercing damage from my sneak attack.
Yeah, it hits him right in the chest and he goes down.
Yeah, I don't plan on killing him.
Okay, well then he's bleeding unconscious really badly. Damn, they keep making their rolls. All right, the other 4 guys lifting their short swords, and they're all going to try to hit Aelwyn again. Miss, miss, miss. And does a 19 hit Aelwyn?
Nope.
Okay, that's another miss then. So it's the top of the round, and it's Vexed's turn. There's still 4 of them standing.
All right, seeing that we have their leader subdued, I'm going to try to persuade them. And I know it's probably futile, but I'll kind of call out, look, we have him restrained. There's a bounty on his head, and we need to turn him in to the officials. I'm sure you'll all be greatly rewarded for helping us capture this terrible man.
Make a persuasion roll.
Okay. It's an okay roll. So with my skill, that's a 14.
Okay. Well, it's not their turn.
But I will kind of motion my hand, rub my fingers together like there's gold, and say that you've surely earned a piece of the bounty.
Okay. It's Throwback's turn again.
I'd like to prepare an action. If they continue fighting, I will shoot another ice. I'll cast another ice knife on their leader.
Okay.
With the
Aelwyn?
intention of doing non-lethal damage.
Okay. Aelwyn, it's your turn. You got an unconscious guy in your arms.
I'm going to stand up and try and knock them unconscious.
Okay. Okay.
We have money, and they're like, ooh, pow, pow, pow.
26 to hit.
That hits.
8 damage.
He's hurt. Still standing.
15 to hit.
That will hit.
5 damage.
Same guy.
Yep.
He goes down. There's still 3 of them standing.
To the next guy. 9 to hit.
9 will miss.
22 to hit.
That hits.
He has to make a dex save, DC 16.
He actually makes it.
Okay. So
Did
he
he
took
take
5 damage.
Okay. All right. He's still standing. Dirk, it's now your turn. They were like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a good." Oh my god! Oh my god!
Never mind.
I guess I'll move up, and I will shoot at one of the thugs that Aelwyn hit.
Okay. Roll to hit.
I was gonna say subdual damage, but then I crit. God damn it. Where's my other d6s? There we go. So I rolled a nat 20.
Yeah.
9, 13, 14, 20 piercing damage.
Oh yeah. Arrow goes through his head.
No, I'm not aiming to kill them. I'm just like hip shotting them all.
He's not dead. It just went through like the side of his head.
Oh.
People get shot in the head and live sometimes.
I'm sure there's no important organs in his
They
head.
do.
Probably not.
Not many.
And it's now their turn, and there's only 2 of them left. And one of them throws down his short sword and puts his hand up. It's like, I'm out. I don't want any more of this. But he's just standing there. And the other guy is like, screw this. And he's going to turn and try to run out the door. Aelwyn would have a attack of opportunity on him.
Nope. I rolled a 9.
Okay. He takes off running out the door. So one guy surrenders. One guy's running out the door. So he's dashing. So he will be like 60 feet away. And it would be the top of a round again. So it would be Vex's turn.
All right, so I move out the doorway, and I fire an Eldritch Blast at him using my Grasp of Hadar. Actually, how far out the doorway is he?
60 feet.
Okay. Yep, so I'll fire an Eldritch Blast using Grasp of Hadar. That'll be a terrible roll, so I'm assuming a 7 doesn't... No, wait. That'd be a 10 total.
It was
10.
still... you know what? That would be a miss, but since he's got his back to you and he's running away, I'll even let you have advantage on it.
Ooh, all right, I'll roll again. Oh, much better. So that's a 24. And so Eldritch Blast damage is going to be 7. And then with Grasp of Hadar, that will pull him 10 feet closer to us.
Okay. So he's only 50 feet away then.
And I say, come back here. We're not done yet.
Stop shooting me, and I might. Throwax turn again.
I don't know if we can do that.
We don't need him. We got the one we need. I'll start rifling through the coin purses that are unconscious.
Okay. I'll tell you when it's done what you got. Aelwyn, it's now your turn. You got a guy next to you, weaponless, with his arms up, and another guy 50 feet away out the door.
I'm going after the 50 feet away guy with my 50 feet of movement.
Okay. You're there. He sees you coming. He looks over his shoulder, and he's like, you can see it in his eyes. He's just wincing, like this is going to hurt.
Yeah. 26 to hit.
That hits.
And because he's the last guy, I'm going to throw something special on it. He has to make a DC 16 con save.
He actually makes it.
Ooh.
But it doesn't really matter because he only has 3 hit points left.
Well, that next attack missed. And... yeah. That's critical.
Okay.
So that's 13 points of bludgeoning non-lethal.
Non-lethal? Okay. You hit him from behind. Your fist would have gone through his chest if you were trying to kill him, but instead you knock him 10 feet further away, and he crumples to the ground and calls for his mother before he passes out.
I pick him up and carry him back.
Okay. Well, there's only one guy left, and he's standing there with his arms up if you want to finish him off, Dirk.
No.
Okay. Well, I will take it
once I realize he's not an enemy.
Okay. I will take it out of rounds then. And the one guy's just standing there. Like, are you guys going to kill me now?
We haven't killed any of you yet. Why would we start with you?
I don't know. They look pretty dead to me, but what do I know?
I am very precise with my hits. They're all knocked out.
Yeah, but this guy was throwing some kind of magic stuff around, like pointy knife daggers or something.
Yeah, ice daggers. Yeah.
Why don't
you can make magic non-killing.
People don't realize this. If people who are unconscious get hit, and even if it's non-lethal damage from area of effects, it's still 2 failed saves.
So Stroak was going through pockets. In all of these guys, he finds 1 gold coin, 2 silver coins, and 11 copper coins.
Excellent. So I'm going to go over to Turk. I'm going to sit him back up on the table. I'm going to scrawl on the table. Get out of crime. You're no good at it. And then leave the coins right next to the writing. And asleep on the table.
My God, that's more money than I've ever seen.
Clearly, he is good at it. He fucking jumped you out of your coin.
Apparently, crime does pay.
Maybe. But now I know his name and his face.
I just have to sell off all my buddies.
Memo. He starts gambling competitions, but ends up getting beat up every time. But they feel bad, so they give him money.
That's one way to make money.
It's a living.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do now? Poor Turk's still snoring away. We'll wake up a rich man.
We should bring this guy in.
Gonna tie up Souljack.
Okay.
Wait. What if they lied to us and this guy didn't do it?
Vex.
Oh. Now
he
you
knocked over the person from Baker's Row.
Yeah. He's still a thief.
He's still a thief, but maybe we should talk to him before we turn him in?
Well, okay.
We
I'm
can
still
do that.
still tying him up.
Yeah, we'll tie him up.
I still think we should turn him in for the 200 gold.
We tie him up. We take him over to the river. We make sure it's actually him.
We're not going to drown him, are we?
No.
Him. But we're going to make sure that she pays us. If she doesn't show up, then she's deceived us.
Okay. You show up. It's now dark. There's a dock. There's a few torches lit along it. There actually are a couple of like sailors or fishermen or what have you. They're just sitting around doing stuff like mending nets and stuff like that. And yeah, out in the little rowboat is Jill standing there.
You actually showed up.
She's like, yeah, I told you I would.
Is this our man?
That is him. That is Souljet. So
And you have the gold?
I do. And she tosses a bag over, and there's a total of 800 gold in it.
Wait, he's going to want you to count that.
I'm not counting that. I need to be away.
Okay.
It's a busy night.
Is there anyone watching? Besides Jill and us?
The couple of sailor guys that are sitting around, they kind of looked up when you walked towards the docks, but they don't seem to be paying any attention to you.
All right. I'll take him away.
And well, before you do that, Jill will say, "What are you planning on doing with him?"
Gonna turn him into the barracks.
Are you two idiots? Really? You think the barracks is gonna hold him?
Well, Jill will say, "Well, they probably can, or whatever the local jail is, can probably hold him. But I'll give you another 200 gold just to leave him with me."
Sold.
Sure.
Okay. She reaches inside her cloak, takes out another bag. It's like, okay. And she throws it to, she'll throw it to Dirk.
I'll catch it with my free hand.
And she'll come forward and take Souljet and pulls him into the boat. And she's like, it's been nice doing business with you, gentleman and lady. Maybe we will run across one another again. Not likely, but it could happen.
Have fun with
If
your...
you come back to town, please stop by for a spot of tea.
Very well. And yes, I did make sure that was shipped to you. You should receive it. It may be there now, even by the time you get back.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, Jill.
Thank you. And she sits down and starts rowing away. So where are you guys going now? You've got all this money.
I am going to the credit union.
Is there a company there?
Okay.
I
Don't we owe Pincus a cut?
Yeah, 10%.
What mission?
Yeah, technically you owe a 10% cut. But
Okay.
sometimes you can work sometimes you can work out other deals with Pincus.
So what? 10% of 500 is
50.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Covers what we just earned when split up.
Oh, you got 750 total. So,
Well, we got
Yep.
500 from doing the other quests,
Yeah.
and we got 200 here.
400.
250.
So, and then 50 each, and then
No, she said 200 each.
100 each, and then we got an extra 200 with so plus the 500. so
sorry.
Yeah.
so everyone got 750.
So you'll have 675
Yep.
after you pay Pincus off.
Wait, we have to pay him for the side quest too?
all money that you earn that isn't formally taken out already, you owe him 10%.
He's like our agent.
Well, that's up to you guys whether you tell Pincus.
Everyone's going to give him 75 gold, and if you guys don't give the guild 75 gold, it'll look
Exactly.
Oh no, he's getting his cut from me.
I can't avoid it either because I have to work with Aelin. I'm his botanist. God damn it.
Well, keep in mind too, if you die, Pinkus will bring you back from death. So
I'll give Pinkus 100 gold just so he raises an eyebrow when everyone else gives him 75.
Well,
Okay.
I won't
people for you.
I won't say what we actually earned, and I won't say that people owe him anything extra. I'll just give him 100.
Well, we're not technically giving it to Pinkus directly. We're giving it to the guild.
Yeah. So are you guys going right back to the guild to pay this money?
Yes, to the guild and then the credit union.
Yeah.
Well, there's a credit union in the guild, or sort of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there an ATM nearby?
There is, but there's a bunch of shady characters hanging out around it.
I hate when I get mugged after using the ATM.
When you guys get back to the guild, in front of the guild entrance, is that big, heavy guard in the plate mail. He's got a halberd now. And with him are 6 other guards in better shape, younger guys in good health. They're also on full plate with halberds. And the big, heavy guy is banging on the front door of the guild hall like his life depends on it. He's just banging away loud. He's screaming, "Where are these bums? Where are they?"
Aelin, you go ahead. We'll keep these 2 back here.
What's going on, guys?
They instantly turn around, and the big fat guy walks over to you with his halberd. He's not brandishing it at you, but he is like holding it up. And he's like, "You guys, what'd you do with it? Where is it?"
I take it that
Did you lose the diamond again?
I take it that wasn't the correct one?
No, that was the correct one. The boss put it away, and then a half hour later, it was gone again.
Yeah.
Your boss has a lot of trouble holding on to gems.
Yeah, you should have got to us earlier. We might have actually been able to do something about that.
And about this time, there's a young man dressed in fairly nice, sort of servant clothes. You've never seen him before. He comes walking up, and he's holding a little wooden box.
Yeah.
What's in the box? What's in the
He's like,
box?
I'm
you
supposed
guys
to
have
deliver this. I'm
You
supposed
guys-
to deliver this to the guild.
Yeah. Yeah. You're looking for a lady about mid-40s.
Damn it, Jill.
Attractive. Goes by the name Jill, but is probably an alias for the woman that supposedly took the note, that left the note earlier. But this note is probably actually from her. So, she's probably about partway down the river now on a small rowboat. If you guys have a vessel, you could probably go after her. If you have a big vessel, you could probably overtake her.
He's like, "Okay, come with me, fools." And he runs off as fast as he can, which is about a movement rate of 15, even dashing. And his guys go with him. And then standing there was this young man in a box, and he's dressed in his nice clothes are all brown, and the initials UPS are stitched into the pocket. And he's like,
Is he wearing
"I've got
shorts?
He is, and he looks a little bit like Brad Pitt. He's got a little cap on, and he says, "I've got a package here supposed to deliver to the guild for a thorac or a throwac or something like that."
Thorax?
That would be me. Thorax, exactly.
Okay. He hands you the box, and on top of it's a sheet of paper, and he takes out a little pencil, and he's like, "If you could just sign here."
I'll make my mark.
Okay. He's like, hey, thanks a lot. He'll sort of salute, and then you gentlemen have a nice night. He turns and walks away. So you've got this box.
I'd like to go ahead and open the box.
Inside the box is a very nice tea set that looks familiar with little Elvian carvings and gold trim and everything. And there's an envelope with the tea set.
Let's read the note.
It says, hope you enjoy the tea set. Love, Caitlin the Rogue. P.S. Thanks for letting me see all of Telfus's defenses.
Excellent. Anybody want some tea?
We gotta go with that guy for the moment, so Elwin's going with him. He's walking slowly, but still walking faster than that guy.
Okay.
So Aelin is what?
My slow movement is faster than that big guy dashing.
Okay.
Because he's
So,
moving at about
anybody
a
else want some
quarter
tea?
of my speed.
Now he's going to the docks.
Yeah. Well, he just had someone come with him, so I'm going with him.
Vex, do you think we should go help?
I think our job is done, but I'm kind of curious, so sure, why not?
Okay. I'll cut a long story short.
All
and
right,
cut
just
through a bunch of stuff. They get the docks and don't have a clue of where to go or what they're looking for.
Which direction did we see her rowing in?
North. But she could have been following the river or going across to the other side or anything.
She could have even doubled back.
She could have.
Maybe she didn't leave.
She could have jumped in and gone swimming. I mean, after she slit poor Soljat's throat, that is.
or
Wonder
he
if we'll
could
find his
he could
body.
actually he could be her assistant, and that was exactly what he was supposed to do. Was
That could be
just
too.
get captured, and so she can collect him again.
It's not a very good plan. She paid us 1,000 gold just to fuck catch him.
Right, but she took one gem. We know she took one gem that he was really concerned about. He probably hasn't even looked at the other gems that are in there.
That's any of our concern.
Well, we'll just explain. Well, we saw her rolling in that direction. We got the gem back for you.
Oh, no doubt. And surely you weren't in cahoots with her.
No.
Surely we weren't.
Well, we've got no evidence of such, so. But I just want you, whatever you are, to know, whatever she paid you, that diamond, when it was cut, would have been worth 10,000 gold pieces.
Yeah. Well, I know that I will never be working with her again, and if I see her again, I'll be opposed to be doing something about that. But apparently she's very good at her job, so I think she'll be. And she definitely knows who I am, so I don't think if she can help it, she'll be coming across my path. But if I happen to come across hers, I'll make sure to pay her back for you guys.
Very well. Though I'm probably going to be fired before the night's over with. And they'll storm away.
Don't worry, at least you got a little bit of something for your pension.
Yeah, 10 gold. Thanks.
I'll give him another 10 gold.
Oh,
He'll
you
take
can
it.
always join the mercenary guild. I hear they're always giving away money.
Yeah. Did that in my younger days. He storms away with his buddies. And that's pretty much the end of the adventure, unless there's something you guys want to do.
No.
Not really.
I think I'm gonna go buy some half plate. But other than that,
Yeah, you can find that in town for book price. Maybe not in the middle of the night, but the next day you'd be able to for sure.
And Cvex, we didn't even kill anyone.
Oh my goodness, not only did we not kill anyone, but I wasn't threatened and pushed within an inch of my life through intimidation of someone almost killing me multiple times.
That's true. That's true. Well, I will thank anyone who has watched. We did have a viewer earlier. And I will thank anyone who's watching in the future. And we'll say good night because it's night here at this time. And thanks everybody for showing up for the game.
Thanks, Ty.
And we'll
thanks for running.
see everyone later.
Thanks for running, Ty.
Yeah.